Okay, another round of Fractal AM4 for beginners or noobs or whatever I'm calling it. Okay, let's go, last video I did there. Let's bring up that preset. What is this down here? It says library. What is the library? Well, if I click in it, now if you're new to it, this is going to come up blank, but I've been using it, so I got some stuff saved in my library there. Let's see. Let me go to let's just add another effect here. Let's go something I haven't used or haven't saved. Let's go, I don't know, just go flanger. Okay, so if you click in library and you haven't done anything with this library, it's just going to be blank. Okay, right? So I'm going to go back here to the amp, and what this allows you to do is you can save, like when I was on scene, say scene 1, I just left everything factory stock there, and then scene 2 I made some changes there. Okay, what if I have other presets, right, and I would like to use all these same settings within this block, right? Is there a way I can do that? Yeah, that's what this library is for. So after I've made my settings here, I really like that and say, hey, I might use that on a different preset or even on a different channel. Okay, so you don't have to go back through and make all the tweaks or whatever. But anyhow, probably mainly used for a different preset, but not always. So anyhow, so what I need to do here is I'm going to click on the little arrow button, and I'm going to go save. All right, and it's going to bring up this pop-up window here. Please enter a unique name for the library entry. Yeah, you'll definitely want to make that unique so you can find it on the library. And I'm going to act like I typed something in here because I don't really want to save something I don't need or want right now. So I'm not going to actually do that. But you have two choices here: save only current channel. Okay, it does not include modifiers. So if you have any modifiers, okay, we're not going to get into that, but it doesn't save that. That's saved for like in a preset. So save entire block. Okay, that might be a choice you might make. Like, we'll cancel this out. Let's for example, say within this preset, man, I really like this tone 1, 2, 3, and 4, this amp block, and I might use it in other presets where I'm using like a bunch of different other effects or something. But I want those exact same, amp and cab settings. So that's when you can save it, as the whole block. Okay, we're going to go up here to a preset where I've already made. They should have, matter of fact, they should include this on the factory presets because my JMP1 is much better sounding than theirs. But my point of view, I guess. But anyhow, I've been a big fan of JMP1s. I've owned them since they first came out, and I still have one, matter of fact. And unfortunately, one of the things the Fractal doesn't allow you to do is separate the preamp and power amp within an amp model, because the amp model they have for the JMP1, they do the preamp part really good, but the cab part or the power amp section of this model is just a generic EL34 power amp. So what is it? I mean, if you've been an owner of a real JMP1, you'd know that it can sound drastically different depending on what power amp you're running through. So anyhow, so I had to go on mine and do a lot of tweaks to make it sound like the power amp I prefer. So anyhow, as we can see on this preset, I have like on scene 1, I got the JMP pre OD1. Scene 2, I'm using the exact same one, but if you look here, see if the settings change at all here. A little bit on the gain there. It's actually more on the cab here part. There's scene 1. I'm using IRs instead of the Dynacabs. And on here you can see the cab changed a little bit. And then for some reason I got a 59 SLP channel in there. And then last thing there is a JMP1 Clean 2. So this is my main preset I use, except for the 59 SLP. That's kind of just thrown in there. I'm working on that, or I might put something else in there. But generally speaking, I've done some saves, so under the cab block, instead of having to go through here constantly and trying different cabs out and stuff like that I might use in, say, a recording or something, I made myself up a bunch of presets and saved them to the library. Now when this saves, you got to keep this in mind, this saves it to not but AM4 edit on your computer. Okay, none of these saved in the saved channels or blocks are saved onto the unit itself. Now this preset here and all these scenes and blocks and channels is all saved in the device itself. So when I click here, so these are a bunch of ones I've recently saved. Okay, like for instance, right now, and this is one part where the XFX, the AM4 and Fractal it does it also on the XFX. It's kind of annoying, you know. I'll be honest, this is the part I actually hate. I really wish when I went to this scene right here, it would show exactly what library I'm using. If I'm using one that's been saved in the library, I can tell which one I'm using because by this cab here. Okay, for me personally. Okay, so I know that it's the. I hit the wrong thing. It's where's it at? The Z. It's that one. No, it ain't, because it changed. Oh, it's the clean. That's why I chose the clean. It's that one. Anyhow, if I made a change there, as long as I don't save it, I could go out of the preset, go back into that preset, so I make sure I don't mess something up. But anyhow, so I made basically this is the Overdrive 1 channel. That's what I call it, OD1 JJ. That's because that's the tubes I'm using, I think. So anyhow, so I had a cabinet confusing here, a 1960 AX. Okay, so and another one this is a Bogner cab. So it's with all the exact same settings. The amp settings are the same. Nothing's different. Here's the cab. See there? So you'll notice when I go to the AX cab, where's it at? It's just changing that pretty much. So anyhow, so on these, what you want to do is, I know this is kind of confusing because I'm not showing you 100% save it. Maybe I'll just do it. Oh, I guess I can always delete it. Let's just do it. I can delete it later. Go back to the other one I did earlier. I got scene tone 1. Remember, I just left that at flat. Scene 2, I got all these settings. I really like those settings with that cab settings. Okay, so now I want to save it to a library. Just go save. I'll just call it tone 1. Okay, so I'm just going to save it as a channel. There we go. Lovely, right? There it is. So if I didn't like that, I wanted to go to something else, I can just click in the box there, and there's my tone 1. If I click on anything else, I just click on it, boom, there it is, and now it just changed it to that. Put it back to where it was at, tone 1, there you go. Okay. Now, remember that? Tone 1 says it right there. You go to scene 1. Now it doesn't say anything. Go back to scene 2. Okay, and it still shows it. Okay, yeah. Now let's go to a different preset. Okay, now I'll go back to that preset we was on, and I was on scene 1. It should said tone 1 for the library, right? It doesn't. This is the thing it doesn't do, which is confusing. This might throw you for a curveball. Okay, I don't know why. I really wish they would allow this to do that. It makes more sense because now I know which one I'm using. Okay, so I am using that one. But like, if nothing else, if this was like highlighted, that would be cool, or something underlined, kind of like when you do. I wish they would do that, like under the. Let's see. I'm gonna have to go to a different preset to show you that. Let's go to this one. If I'm under the cab block, it has underlined which one I'm using. I really wish they would do that under this library thing. So if I'm not sure what I'm using, at least underline it. But anyhow, it doesn't do that. So that's a quirk with Fractal, like I said. So don't feel bad, using AM4. It does in Fractal Axe Effects too. So anyhow, so that's the library. This library actually saves on your computer, and I'm using a Windows computer, so I'm not sure. Let's see if I can find that here on Windows. I'm not sure. There's probably a default setting to this. I think it's under, let's see here. I'm on another window right here, so or a monitor. So let me find it. Fractal Audio. I think it's under My Documents. Fractal Audio. Is it under? Where's it at? Where's it at? AM4 Edit. Presets. Locks. Right there. There it is. Okay. Well, there it is. Here, I'll pull it on the screen so you can see it. So on Windows, at least, it's under Documents, Fractal Audio, AM4 Edit, and that'd be under Blocks, because I'm changing that to save for a block, right? And then you get any blocks that you've already saved will be here. So they're not all here because I haven't done all those. So under the amplifier block, you can see all those ones I've brought up before over here, all there. And that one I said tone 1, it's right there. So I decided, remember, I don't really want that. So you can actually delete it. You can also, if you think about that, yeah, this is a way you can share blocks with other users and stuff like that. They could just take one of these files and drag and drop it, send it to you. You can put it in this folder, then it'll show up. So that's another use that you can do with the library function. So hopefully I made a little sense on how that works and told you some of the quirky things that it does do or doesn't do. And you can make some sense of that and use it. All right, go down there and hit the like button and the subscribe and ask questions and stuff like that if you want. Tell me how stupid I am, whatever. I don't care.